The Supreme Court announced Friday it will add a second case this term to determine whether partisan gerrymandering is unconstitutional, accepting a challenge from Maryland Republicans who say the state's dominant Democrats drew a congressional district that violated their rights. The court already has heard a challenge from Wisconsin Democrats, who challenged a legislative redistricting drawn by the state's Republican leaders. The cases could reshape the way American elections are conducted. The Supreme Court has never thrown out a state's redistricting efforts due to partisan gerrymandering, and political parties consider drawing the map one of the perks of being in charge of state government. It is unclear why the court thought it needed another case, and it had previously declined to immediately take up the Maryland case, Benesek v. Lamone. But the new challenge raises a question of specific interest to Justice Anthony Kennedy, who is thought to be the pivotal vote on the issue. Kennedy has wondered whether partisan gerrymandering retaliates against voters for their past support of a party's candidates, which he has said could be a violation of the First Amendment. In the Wisconsin case, Gill v. Whitford, the court was considering a different constitutional issue, equal protection. The court heard arguments in that case in early October, and has not issued an opinion. The challenge in Maryland centers on the 6th Congressional District in western Maryland that was redrawn to include parts of heavily Democratic Montgomery County. The plaintiffs say that in the mandatory redrawing of congressional districts following the 2010 census, the state's Democratic leaders diluted the number of Republican voters in the district to ensure that a Democrat would win. The plaintiffs, Republican voters who live in the district, claim the legislature and then Gov. Martin O'Malley targeted them for vote dilution because of their past support for Republican candidates for public office, violating the First Amendment retaliation doctrine, lawyer Michael Kimberly wrote in his petition to the court. The legislature reshuffled fully half of the district's 720,000 residents, far more than necessary to correct the mere 10,000 person imbalance in the district's population following the 2010 census. The petition states that resulted in a more than 90,000 voter swing in favor of Democrats, and the share of registered Republicans fell from 47% to 33%. No other congressional district anywhere in the nation saw so large a swing in its partisan complexion following the 2010 census, Kimberly wrote. The incumbent, Republican Rep. Roscoe Bartlett, had won by a 28% margin in the old district. In 2012, Bartlett lost to Democrat John Delaney in the new district by a 21% margin. Delaney has represented the district since then. A 3-judge panel ruled against the challengers in August. In a 2-to-1 vote, the panel said the Republican challengers didn't prove the election results occurred just because of those redistricting changes. The state's lawyers pointed to the fact that Delaney was almost defeated in his re-election attempt in 2014, and Republican Larry Hogan won more than 50% of the vote in the district in his successful campaign for governor.